Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's newsletter. Today, we have something different where I am going to be talking to Dr. Gayatri, one of our doctors. Dr. Gayatri has been in our clinic working with me for the last 12 years. She had a small little break to go and have her children and also to do her PhD as well. So, Gayatri, welcome. We're going to be talking about Nasya today. Can you tell a little bit about yourself? More about like you're an Ayurvedic doctor, but tell a little bit about your PhD and what you also do as well.
Thank you, Joe. So yes, I've been a part of the clinic since the last 12 years, and I've been working with you. And I did my PhD, I complete my PhD in 2023, and my topic was related to women's health, especially PMS, because that's what we see a lot in the clinic as well. So my passion is women's health, and what my topic was basically looking at multiple health behavior chains. So not just exercise, but how diet, exercise, stress relief, etc. When we combine all of those together and how that impacts PMS or premenstrual syndrome, and we had like a great result as well to really see. And this was like the first study combining multiple health behaviors as
Wow.
well. So that was my PhD, and I've also done literature reviews on preterm babies and probiotics, etc. So yeah, research is ongoing and I'm really passionate about it. So with Ayurveda as well.
Amazing. So I think we need to do a newsletter about PMS. So I
Yeah,
think we'll have another discussion about that.
definitely.
So Gayatri also lectures at the university as well. So she lectures on epidemiology to the doctors. So yeah, some exciting things she is working with. So, but we're going to be talking to Gayatri about Nasya. Gayatri's been doing Nasya in the clinic with us from the very beginning, and she gets amazing results. Ayurvedic Nasya is a very unique process. So, Gayatri, we've got in the newsletter today about why Nasya is really important and why there's like, people think the sinuses are just here or just here. They don't realize that it actually runs over your whole entire head and how much it can affect like your concentration, your brain function. And I know you work with lots of different complicated cases in the clinic with neurological things as well. But tell everybody what is Nasya in the sense of an Ayurvedic practice.
Okay, so Nasya basically is a tradition, it's a part of the Panchakarma. So it's really intense where we really cleanse the body. It's like detoxifying all the organs which are above the shoulder. So anything to do with shoulders, neck, head, ears, five sense organs, they all are covered under Nasya. Because in Ayurveda, we believe that nose is actually the doorway, considered as a doorway to the head. So it really cleanses and nourishes all the deep tissues, the sense organs, the sinuses, the throat, and everything. And as you've seen, in the clinic as well, we've also worked with like neurological conditions. So we still need a lot of evidence around it, but we've seen in practicality, like how it works with patients, how well it works.
So tell us
So
a little bit about if someone comes in for Nasya, because when people have Nasya the first time, they think they're going to get this really like tranquil, beautiful like experience. Tell people a little bit about what happens in Nasya and why you have to work in that particular way.
Okay, so Nasya, first of all, is not a relaxing treatment because it's a part of Panchakarma. Panchakarma is, most of the people might know, is one of the detox therapies in Ayurveda, one of the five therapies. So the process is, the step-by-step process, as you said, is the first step is face massage. So with warm medicated oil, I basically massage the face and lubricate and just make sure that everything loosens up as well around the sinuses and the glands. The next step is facial steam, again with some medicated oil, so that way the steam enters into the nasal passages and really lubricates everything and moistens the passages, and it's warm. So that the main step, which is the next step, which is inserting drops medicated oil through the nose. So the patient is lying down with the head a little bit backwards, and we insert drops. So each time the number of drops is different. The types of drops is different depending on the patient, and it's just different depending on, you know, each patient at each time. So it's not like, okay, this is the protocol that we have to follow, but we can tweak it because in Ayurveda we believe that every patient is different, right? So we insert like nasal Nasya drops in the nose, and then it's like a sinus and face massage where the oil actually, when the patient's lying down, it goes down into this deep point, which in Ayurveda, where all the five sense organs actually originate from this point. This is a marma, very important marma point, and the oil has like dual properties. So it cleanses the sinuses, the nasal passages, as well as it nourishes this gland. So it really, you know, is actually nourishing all the sense organs that way. This is again followed by like a lot of face massage, followed by uh, turmeric fumes, you know, because everything then needs to dry up, and turmeric, as we know, is anti-inflammatory. So it really helps that way.
Yeah, and I know when I've had Nasya, when you have turmeric fumes, it's like, whoa, like you feel your brain like open. It's like everything sort of, all the channels and the pathways open. It's like it's
Yes.
really, really powerful.
Because that does cross the barrier, right? Because that was actually one of my studies as well. Because as you know, I love evidence-based, you know, practice, and that's what I teach as well. Because there was a study that, you know, with Alzheimer especially, like curcumin or, you know, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, can dissolve the amyloid plaques. But because it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, you know, it was of no use. So scientists in Japan, what they did was they actually converted turmeric into, like curcumin, into nanoparticles and made that into nasal spray. So that way it goes straight into, you know, the brain to help with Alzheimer's. And that's exactly what we have been doing in, you know, our nausea treatment. And that's why we've been seeing all these results.
Yeah.
So yes, there is still some research building up in that area.
Amazing. I mean, and Ayurveda is 5,000 years old, and Nasya has been used for, you know, not only like clearing the sinuses, but, you know, calming, cleansing the mind, migraines, headaches. You know, the pineal pituitary gland are the two major glands that Dr. Gayatri was talking about here. And when you put the oil and it hits those glands, it's like an internal like shower that happens of your hormones to your whole entire body. But the best part about it is the hormones that get showered is your body knows exactly the pharmacy that you need, right? It's not applied like, you know, a drug or a cream or whatever. It's actually giving you what you need. So it's, you know, very, very powerful. So Gayatri, in the sense of that is like what you do, tell us some of the reasons people come and some of the success that you have seen with patients. You know, your book is always filled with Nasya, and even to the point where I had Nasya with Gayatri just recently, and she's like, "When are you coming back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get there. I'll let everybody else go first, right?" So, so tell us a little bit about like, yeah, what patients come to you for with the Nasya and what results you see, and how quickly are the results?
Okay, so mainly the patients that I see, there are many categories actually, as I said, because it works on all the diseases, disorders of the vata disorders of vata, as well as kapha, and
Can
mainly
you
all
just
the
explain that for people who don't understand diseases of Vata and Kapha?
vata and kapha. So mainly, this is definitely working with sinusitis, clearing nasal passages, allergies, headaches, nasal congestion. It improves breathing, memory. We've also had patients who've lost sense of smell or taste, like for 17 years, and they can slowly, you know, get that back. Or patients who had like vertigo, you know, we really help with that as well. We've seen a lot of benefits, and migraines, as I said, we've seen some benefits there as well. And mainly memory, like we've seen amazing results with the elderly patients having issues with memory as well. So all of these come under. Like I've just clubbed Vata and Kapha to do this together.
Amazing, amazing. And so how long does it take? Like if someone comes in and they
Uh,
have got, nasal passages or sinusitis or, things like that. I know everybody is different, but what happens in the first treatment, and I mean, depends on how long the person has had it.
yeah.
Like this is like how long is a piece of string? But just tell us like what they can expect from that first treatment that they come.
So usually I always recommend my patients to start following the diet. First take
Mm,
herbs to begin with, depending on whatever the condition is, because then nausea is going to work faster. Like, if
mm,
you just come in and have a nausea, it's not going to be as effective as it would be if you are, taking herbs, following our detox
yeah.
diet and, into the regime. So that's the first thing. And depending on that, some patients, because let's say if they've come for sinusitis or chronic sinus conditions, you can see the results like the first time, because the more you clear your passages during the treatment,
Mm,
the sooner you're going to see
mm,
the results. So it's like we see the results like straight away in the
mm,
treatment, like after the
mm,
treatment, they can breathe better. There's like
mhm.
more oxygen,
Yeah,
in the brain, and they just feel
yeah.
different. And we've got patients who really become like so sharp and crisp,
Mm,
and their brain just functions at a different level. So it's
mm,
really amazing. It, as I said, it depends on the condition, it depends on
yeah,
so many things, but it could be as soon as the
yeah.
first treatment, or it could take a few.
Yeah, I know one that comes to mind that you're working with recently, and one of the clients who's got very serious autoimmune disease has had heart
Yeah,
conditions and a lot of problems and shoulder issues and every joint in his body because of the, arthritis and stuff is blocked, but he couldn't actually even put his head down. Right. And when he first came, like he was having trouble having treatment because he couldn't lie down and all those types of things. And within, like I've seen him see you within a 4 to 6 week period, like this person is a completely different person. He's not only is, I mean, we're working on him detoxification wise, so there's lots of things happening, but he's just like he's there. He's like more
yeah,
present where before he thought he was going to lose his job because he had so many health conditions. And
yeah.
his job said to him, what can we do to help you? Right. And, and he's just had miraculous changes. And I think Nasya made some quick, sharp changes
Definitely.
because he's super focused at his health now because his brain is actually working as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have observed that with his memory and everything, like, over the
Mm,
last 4 weeks,
mm,
things have changed a lot.
amazing. So, what would be some last things that you could say to people, like anything about Nasya that you would like to stay, in an encouragement to people, or maybe that they haven't tried it or what they can do next?
Uh, this is a treatment, because when, let's say, patients see one of us at the clinic for this treatment for nausea, we usually tell them, and if they're ready, some take-home tips as well,
Mm,
like
mhm,
steam and face massage and fumes, etc., how
mhm,
they can do at home.
mhm,
But let's say if we've got people who are watching this and they've not done this process previously, maybe just try taking steam with a few drops of eucalyptus oil if your condition is just blocked sinuses,
mm,
and see how you go, how you sleep well at night. And
mm,
one thing is, I've seen that many patients hesitate to blow their nose,
mhm,
but if the passage is not clear,
mm,
it's just going to get more
mm,
blocked. Like it's just going to get stagnant and attract bacterial
mm,
growth, etc. So
yeah,
that's another thing. So loosen up if you can at home,
mm,
using some steam with eucalyptus oil,
yeah,
followed by making sure your passages are clear.
yeah,
And always the diet, as you
yeah,
know, works hand in hand. But yes, there is, the turmeric ginger honey drink, which we
yeah,
always recommend.
yeah,
So it's like grated ginger, 1 spoon. You just squeeze it to get like juice, like freshly squeezed ginger juice, followed by turmeric, a quarter teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of raw organic honey. You mix that
mm,
well and have that first thing in the morning.
mm.
That really helps in cleansing.
Amazing,
Thanks,
amazing.
Elizabeth.
Well, Dr. Gayatri, thank you for giving us your, wisdom and your words of wisdom. So for some of you who have not tried Nasya or understand what Nasya is about opening up the head and opening up the channels. And your sinus, you'll read in the article, there are 3 kilos of toxic fluid that needs to be moved out of that sinus channel every year. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but think about your head. 3 kilos is like a lot of fluid and a lot of blockages. And if that doesn't move, then where does it go? It gets stuck. And we see sometimes Nasya is productive or Nasya is dry. So Nasya is dry is very locked. So yeah, if it's something that you want to try or do what Gayatri talked about at home, do the steaming. We are coming into winter for people here in Australia. For people in the other side of the world, you may be in, the spring. So there's always different changes with the seasons. So take care, and we'll keep you posted on further newsletter. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that was okay.